Hi guys.
Hello.
I took my shoes off.
Don't
Now
spoil
I'm in
it,
business.
Kyle. You can't learn the adventure before you play it.
What? I still know absolutely nothing. And I can remember you saying something when we were talking, but I've completely forgot whatever it was you said. That doesn't mean say it again.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
stuff that
unfortunately, I remember it.
and I'm gonna avoid going to the areas Derek wants us to go to.
Shush.
Haha.
Nice.
Anyway, hi, welcome, sup.
Hello.
How you doing?
What's up?
Psst. What? It's weird. It's awkward. Isle of My Mind is doing D&D as well, playing with group tomorrow. Nice.
So should we get this going since it's now time?
Well, I suppose
could,
so.
yeah.
Jesus.
Good, but like
You got a bus to
come
catch
on.
or something.
Come on.
I've only just got
Oh,
here.
wait, your lady
I'm
friend's
just looking
coming,
out
right?
for-
Later.
I'm looking out for
Oh.
Snow because he's got that plane to catch or whatever.
Oh, actually, that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're having to wake up at like 5 or leave at 5 in the morning, Snow.
Yeah, I have to leave my house at 5:30 tomorrow.
Oof.
That's rough.
So, well, yeah, I suppose that's a good reason to just get on with it then, I suppose. You've all got your names sorted. Snow hasn't. How dare you?
Snow
is
was
his name
correct for
sorted?
me.
Oh. It just says Snow Chicken Lord and then a symbol for me. But, oh well.
Your Discord's fucked.
Discord's fucked. Let's have a look on here.
Yeah, as long as it's fine on the other.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine there now. Okay, yeah, it probably just hasn't updated or something like that. Ta-da!
Yeah, because RJ's is broken for me, so.
Oh yeah, same.
Oh, look at that background. That looks
Ta-da.
really good.
I've got a bunch. I've got like 30 odd D&D-esque backgrounds. They'll just change every like 5 minutes. I figured that's probably better for the D's and D's than having Willow in the background.
Fancy.
And also, I said to Mush, "Oh, just Google Tomb of Annihilation images," and he was like, "Who's this guy? Who's that
I've
woman?
seen something that I shouldn't have
Where's this
seen.
place?"
You're just like, I don't know, man. They're just cool pictures.
Yeah.
Where is this location at?
Who is this character? So yeah.
Dirk, did you find fancy music with the link I sent you?
Oh.
No, I saved a tab thing. I haven't really done music yet. I might try and bring that in at some point in the future.
Did you see on Reddit?
So I'd have to
is
do
it-
it through Roll20 to get it, because Mush needs to hear it, right? It needs to go through. I don't know.
As long as I could hear it through my headphones or anything, then the stream would be able to hear it. But yeah, I saw on Reddit yesterday that there's a new D&D music thing happened recently. I think there's a whole new subreddit for it as well.
Oh, I sent him a whole link that's all free, professionally made music. I can link it in your chat real quick.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, but if I play it, then the stream won't hear it, right? We need to go through. Oh, we'll figure it out some other time.
Yeah.
I didn't
Or
have time
I
to
mean,
look into it.
if we really feel like we need some kind of atmosphere or background music or something, then yeah, you can just pick a track and I can play it. We could all listen to it individually or something, I suppose.
I was almost to the point of getting my guitar out right now.
Well, speaking of, I'll probably stop this background lo-fi hip-hop music. There we go. Ta-da! So there we are. Here we are. And I mean, how are we going to do this? Dirk, do you want to say some stuff, or do we talk about our characters, or how do you want this to go?
How about we do both of those, in fact?
Oh.
I mean, super briefly, because I don't want to tell you guys or viewers too much about it, but we're going to be doing Tomb of Annihilation, it's called. It's a pre-made module for 5th edition D&D. It's a full campaign, so it's going to be like level 1 to level 11, roughly, something like that, however long that takes us, and we're going to try and play weekly. And
You play weekly?
More than weekly, mate. And the characters don't know this yet, but the players do. It takes place pretty much entirely in a peninsula called Chalk. It's not an island, actually. I
Oh
found
shit! I've spent all this time
Not-
preparing an island.
False information.
Not 20 minutes ago, I found this out. I was very surprised. It's not an island. It's connected. So there you go.
there we
To
go.
the rest of Faerun. That's the important part. It's in Forgotten Realms setting, which, having said, almost everyone will know more about than me.
Apart from me.
Apart from us, yeah. So, without further ado, should we just do like a mechanical, race and class introduction to your characters, and then we'll introduce them like appearance and so on, like once we actually legitimately start, but just the basics.
Sounds good.
I mean, my backstory's been ruined since it's not an island.
Well, do you want to start, Mush?
Okay. I am Dikek. I've just been saying that in my head for like a week, just constantly just going Dikek. I've forgotten my surname and I've deleted it from my character sheet. Can anyone remember what my surname? Kreelag.
Kreelag.
There we go. Okay, I've added it back.
Why'd you delete your surname?
I don't know.
I had a surname and I deleted it, and now I don't know what it is.
I don't know why. Oh, it was because I was trying to change it on my
Who
token.
forgets their own name?
I was trying to change it on my token and then I fucked it up.
You can just change it on your token without it being on your.
Yeah, I know that now, but I'd already changed it on the sheet before I'd fixed it, and then I forgot to put it back. Whoopsie. So yes, I am an Aarakocra, which is a Burb person, level 1 wizard at the moment.
Beautiful. Dusk, do you want to go next?
For sure. I'm going to be playing as Dusk, a divine soul sorcerer who is a changeling. I'm going to start disguised as a human.
So, divine soul sorcerer means you can do cleric things. You have like some ancient bloodline connection.
Essentially, what it means is I have like in my blood some celestial power, which means I can do cleric spells, and that's pretty much it.
Thank heavens there's a healer in the group. Hallelujah.
Hooray! Oh yeah, I was going to buy a pot. Oh, well, never mind.
RJ?
I'm a Fey Elf, Warlock, Hexblade, which means I'm stabby.
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 And my mood changes depending on my seasonal appearance.
And what's your name, sir?
Emerald.
Groovy. And last but not least, Estani.
Hello, I am playing Lily. I am a Wood Elf Rogue.
Beautiful. Well, our journey begins in the fairly well-known city of Baldur's Gate. It's a city on the west coast of the Sword Coast of the main continent of Faerun, quite a distance from Chult. And camera pans in from some overhead shot of the city where you see it's late afternoon. There's heavy clouds above. It looks like a very cold day, like really, really heavy rain, drumming down on the streets. People if they have to be outside, looking absolutely miserable. People that don't have to be outside, dashing between buildings if they're going somewhere. And we swoop down from that overhead shot to see the outside of a tavern. The name's written above the door. It's called the Fragrant Kobold. And there's a little crude painting of a little kobold with a string of onions around its neck. And we zoom into the interior of the tavern. We see a table, and I'll ask you guys to. It's two of your characters sitting at the table. I'll ask you guys to explain maybe what your character looks like, what you're saying to each other. But Dekek and Dusk are sitting at that table.
Do you want to begin, Mosh?
Okay.
So maybe just appearance of your character to start with.
Okay, well, yeah. Dikek, as I say, is an Aarakocra, which is a bird person. They've got wings but also arms. I'm pretty dishevelled looking, old. I've got a bluish grey robe on, and I look a bit scruffy. Feathers are starting to turn white because I'm pretty old for an Aarakocra. They apparently usually only live sort of up until their 30s. I'm in my late 30s. And the sort of big noticeable thing is that my wings are all clipped. So I don't have any of the flight feathers on my wings. Some of them look like they've been cut. Others have looked like they've been singed or burned off, and they've got sort of the melted the shaft bit of the flight feathers and stuff like that. Yeah, I've got a big old quarterstaff, which looks way too big for me because I'm only like 5 foot tall. And generally, yeah, just a bit rough, a bit scraggly, and just with my robe on, pretty much. And I guess I'm hunched at a table.
Cool. And Snow, what does Dusk look like?
Yeah, so I sit across from Dikek, and I look like I just a regular kind of human with this like black hair, like blue eyes, and I have this clothing that's fairly loose on me. And yeah, I just like lean over a cup of ale, like drink a sip, and I say, "So, what do you say? Just, are you up for some trade?"
Well, if you can get me to Schultz, yes, then I suppose.
Oh, perfect. Now, I have to be honest, I'm not sure how we get there yet, but it should be easier with a group, right?
Well, whatever needs to be done to get there.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if anyone else actually saw the notes.
Where did you place them?
Well, well, some of them. Well, the priests weren't pleased when I tried in the cathedral, but, well, anywhere else, really.
What exactly were you advertising for? Just bodies?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, I think we get a ship, we'll sail there, and I'm curious about this new place.
Well, yes. I just need to get there. Doesn't matter how.
But
So what would your adverts have said, Dusk?
it would be like looking for capable adventurers or traders, and we essentially just kind of painting this picture of like, hey, there is a group that's going to get on a boat, and we need more people. But it's actually just me.
Yeah, always we need more. There's lots of us already, but we need a few more. Okay, so in the tavern, occasionally the door kind of swings open, and you can really see the weather's really deteriorating. There's like gales and sideways, really heavy rain. So anybody that's coming in is really like hustling in, in that kind of way where you're walking out of a really noisy and heavy rain atmosphere into a like warm, controlled one, and you just kind of scuffle in like, and then it's
Shake
quiet
off the damp.
inside. Shake off the rain. Head straight to either the fire or the bar, depending on your preferences.
DK's pretty untrusting or nervous of humans and things. So yeah, I guess he'd be semi on edge, like each time the door opened, and checking around, looking people over and all that kind of stuff.
So where would we find Lily? Esteni.
Yeah, I was fumbling for Discord so I could unmute. Sorry.
Sorry, I kind of jumped on you.
No, it's fine. So I feel like we would find Lily like enter like as we're watching these people coming in from the rain, we would see Lily coming in maybe behind a group of people, probably using one of those flyers that Dusk posted as like a shield from the rain. And then
Man, I put so much effort into it.
and then looking at it and it's ruined, and I'm like, oh shit, how am I gonna find these people now? All right, who looks like adventurers? Who looks like adventurers? And I'm just like probably like right by the door, scanning the room, trying to figure out who it was mentioned in the flyer that I was supposed to talk to.
Would it have said, Dusk, like, look for the person that looks like X or meet me at Y?
It would be like meet me at Y, and I guess it would like say just a description, or maybe I have a symbol on me. I just like a necklace that's just like a symbol of a celestial.
Okay. So it might have said, hey, look for the guy with this symbol on their necklace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would be looking for that symbol then.
Yeah,
I
I mean, I
see.
think you would see it without too much trouble. I would imagine that you guys are in like a prominent place if you want to be found.
And if we're keeping an eye on the door and stuff, I'm sure there'll be eye contact and stuff, make it all a bit easier.
Okay. So I think then I find you guys, walk right up to your table. I slip down the very wet flyer. And I say, so I hear you're looking for adventurers to go to Chult?
Oh well. Yes, we are, and you are.
The name's Lily. I stick out my hand to you.
So what
Yeah,
does Lily look like?
Oh, right. Yeah. So, she's kind of darkly clothed. Like she wears like a lot of like blacks and navies and dark purples, that sort of thing. But it's like in a very sharp contrast to her very ginger hair, her light skin. She's like covered in freckles. She probably looks fairly youthful, but at the same time, she carries herself with a way that's like it's clear she's not like a teenager. She's just a skinny, maybe slightly short adult. And she has green blue eyes. As far as equipment, she's got a short bow on her back. She's got like a rapier, leather armor, all that stuff.
Cool. Okay, so you said you're Lily. What do you guys say in response?
Dusk. Dusk Valence. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I do.
Kind of point to DKEK and just say nothing yet.
Hello, yes, I'm DKEK. Hello.
My hand is still hanging in the air, waiting for someone to shake it.
Yeah, I shake it.
And then I offer the hand to DKEK as well.
I guess doing the, head tilts, just checking that there's nothing dodgy around it, and
Oh, jeez.
yeah, okay, stretch my hand forward as well.
Well, hello.
Nice to meet you. So who else is in the group?
It's just us.
Just the two of you.
Well, we're still waiting on more company, but for now, this is all you're going to see.
What?
However,
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, go for it.
Sure.
Hey, the first roll of the campaign.
Dun dun
Do you want me
dun.
to put like a deception or?
I suppose.
I'm here misleading me.
Yeah, there's some sort of lie in there.
Oh my!
Well, you see right through it. It's obvious that you hit the nail right on the head with that question.
Bloop.
I think I give you like an up and down, like I see you. I know what's going on here. And I pull up a chair at the table, flag down like a serving person, and get something to drink while I'm waiting for more people to answer this ad, hopefully.
Well, what a
Yeah.
segue, because actually we have one other person on the call who also has a player character. And maybe that's the perfect time to ask where Immoral would be found right now.
Sorry, I missed the segue.
We're waiting for
Where-
more people to answer the ad.
If only there were more adventurers. wouldn't
Is
it?
that all you said, Lily? Is that all you said, Lily?
Yeah, just where would we find Immoral?
Okay.
And maybe if you can describe what he looks like.
So I would also be walking in with the flyer, but I'm fully armored into the bar, kind of scan around, eyeing for who I would think would be an adventuring group. I spot the three off in a corner, I assume, and you notice I'm wet, and then I start crossing the room, somewhat leisurely. And by the time I reach the table, you notice I've suddenly become dry for some reason. You also notice it seems to be radiating a glow. My hair is golden. My eyes glow golden as well. And I just kind of look at the group. And I'm just like, "Are you going to Schult?"
Yes.
I kind of struck by this new arrival, kind of just stay silent for a few moments, and I say, yes, we are. Name's Dusk. You are?
I'll be joining you.
Oh, well.
That's a strange
All right,
name.
then. That is a strange name. I agree, DKEK. Well, may I ask what your reasoning is? What your reason is to go?
I just kind of look at them impatiently.
I
just need
really
to get
like
to
the color
Schultz.
yellow.
Shiny.
I look at Lily, saying she's also an elf, but a wood elf, kind of stain. And I'm just like, I can't help the color of my skin.
I mean, that's not what I hear about Eladrins, but you do you.
So what Lily was making reference to there is that Eladrins, maybe this isn't common knowledge, but an elf might know, are renowned for having the ability to change their appearance and personality, sometimes just to match the seasons, sometimes just to match their mood, even.
Well, it's not really
When
like a
would-
conscience control thing. It's just they tend to, some change with the seasons, some never change, and their
Yeah.
appearance affects their mood.
So when was the last time your Immoral's appearance changed?
He's always been summer.
That's kind of interesting, really. Like you're a type of elf that's renowned for this particular thing, but you have always been like unchanging. One season. So
like
far.
I said, not all emeralds change. Only some change, and it like affects the mood. So if you're a certain personality type, it might be more like appearance would not change.
Okay. The door bursts open once again. A fairly young human male, looks about sort of 19 years old, beige hair, just bursts into the tavern like it's an absolute gale outside, and he just like staggers in. He's absolutely soaked. He's clutching a totally soaked piece of parchment in his hand that's another one of the adverts that Dusk had placed, but he hadn't quite put two and two together to use it as an umbrella like you guys did. So he looks like he's just come out of a bath, pretty much, just wearing kind of basic, common leather clothes. He glances at the piece of parchment, reads it again, glances around the room, and then eventually lands eyes on your table and on Dusk and the gleaming piece of jewelry hanging around your neck, and shuffles his way over to you and says, "Might I be in the presence of the purveyor of this advertisement, perhaps?"
Ah, yes. Yes, you are. How may I help
Tremendous.
you, friend?
Well, my name is Thelior Tut, and I am the assistant of the retired great adventurer Sindra Sylvain. And perhaps I might have some business for you that could be of your interest. Might I join you?
Well, certainly. Just sit yourself and tell us of, well, your business.
Terrific, terrific. And he pulls up a chair to the table. Barmaid, comes over, spotting somebody that's just come in, assuming they were going to want a drink. He orders something non-alcoholic, and he's like slightly bashful. Looks back to you guys and says, "I'm on duty. I'm not allowed. You see."
Oh, come on. Now, duty or not, you are in a tavern with friends, or soon to be friends. Have a drink with us.
I couldn't possibly.
Like, I kind of go to my purse and then I realize, damn, I don't have money. So
He looks like he really, really wants to be convinced.
Can I sleight of hand and swap his drink with mine when he's not looking?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll make a perception check, I guess. Okay.
Damn.
So yeah, when the drink comes, how are you going to do this?
I'm because he's gonna be talking business with Dusk, so I'll wait till he like takes a couple drinks or something, or when he's not looking, I just do a little quick swap.
Okay. And he absolutely doesn't notice. And I mean, he's not the type that spends a lot of time in taverns, so it's not like the drink that he tried to order is some sort of local soft drink, some, I don't know, some tea or some cold tea he ordered. But it's not like something that he knows very well, so he doesn't really notice the difference. But as things go on, his cheeks get slightly redder and redder. But anyway, he puts onto the table in front of him it's now almost paper pulp, this soaked through parchment, which was previously an advertisement, and says, "Well, so I understand you're planning an expedition to Chult. Is that correct?"
Yes, that is correct. Since you're on duty, though, who are you working for, if I may ask?
Sindra Sylvain is my employer. Very noble. You might have heard of some of her deeds in the area, although it was a long time ago. She used to be an adventurer, more into trade, working as a merchant in recent years. But, well, I suppose adventure is a common trade, a common profession around here.
Well, it is a common profession until, well, actually, it's not so common to see adventures that survive long, I suppose. Anyway.
Indeed. And perhaps that tells you something of her skill. She's quite old these days.
Well, I'm glad to hear that there is hope for us. I kind of laugh, chuckle.
And what was your name again?
Thelior Thut.
What?
Thelior
Thut. Well said, yes. I hope to be an adventurer myself one day. I hope to learn a few things from Sindra. She still has much knowledge.
Oh. Well, are you trying to pursue the arcane profession, then?
I'd love to. I've seen some of the things she can do. It really boggles the mind, but I don't seem to have the talent for it myself. I'm still trying to find the right, the right style. I'm no barbarian to swing a club,
Well, you never know. The little ones have some rage in them sometimes.
Yes.
Uh, in any case, tell us of this business you've come with.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Yes. Well, Syndra, she saw your advertisement, and well, sometimes yeah, these things just come together, I suppose. She was looking for an expedition to go into Chult, her own particular reasons, but well, I think she'd like to meet with you and perhaps make you an offer, something you can do for her while you're there. Perhaps earn a bit of extra gold.
Well,
If she can get me to Chult, I'll go.
I just want to get there.
I kind of look at Lily.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to extra gold.
My thought exactly.
I have
like
no
it.
need for gold.
I get his cut too.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, all right then. We can figure this out later. So, what do you say? Do we meet up with this lady? Lady? Is it a lady? I kind of look at Jesus. What's in
Thelior.
Helior. Yes, indeed.
Indeed. All right. Well,
Where is this Syndra?
Oh, not far. I could guide you to her if you'd like to meet her.
Why
In
didn't
fact,
she come herself?
Well, she's rather elderly these days. She does not very mobile.
Hmm.
I can take you to her establishment. Perhaps we can offer you a drink, some food.
well, I am certainly
Lead
not
on,
going
I
to
will
say
follow.
no to that. Let's go. What do you say? And I look at everyone.
I just kind of shrug, like, yeah, I'm game.
Well, as long as we get there eventually.
Can we get on with it already?
Yeah, I'm not even waiting for your answer. Just kind of stand up vigorously, like shake my hands. Well, lead on then, friend.
Yeah, Thelior's. He gets up. He's like really red faced. He's very flushed. And actually, when he gets up, he kind of stumbles a little bit and leans on his chair. And then looks over at a barmaid and casts a flirtatious smile, and then turns and starts to lead you out of the tavern.
Is there anything I can swipe to use as like an umbrella or like something to keep the rain off?
What sort of you want to steal an umbrella or something? I mean, they
Yeah,
don't
if
have
I-
like public ones in the tavern, so you'd have to nick one.
Yeah,
From
I
a nearby
would.
table.
I'm happy to nick one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, take your pick. You can steal. Well, you could steal a cloak. You'd steal, I suppose, some appropriate umbrella made of wood or something, wood and canvas.
Yeah, I would. Let's go for an umbrella. I feel like that would probably be easier to swipe than someone's cloak.
Okay, well, it's from the. I'm going to roll it as a drunk commoner, so they'll be at disadvantage. But yeah, make a
Okay.
sleight of hand check.
Mm.
Commoner, what's their perception like? Probably not great. Okay, a 0.
They have to roll a 20.
Well, 19. 19 would also work.
Oh shit.
So they get an 11. So yeah, there's this some like really enormously tubby bald guy, bright red face. He's like making some raucous joke to his friends and like slamming down his flagon of ale, splashing it all over the place. He's just completely oblivious to your very dexterous yoink maneuver.
Dexterous yoink is a good name for a move.
That is great. I'm gonna add an umbrella to my.
I'm gonna add that to my list of potential NPCs you might meet in the future. Actually, dexterous yoink.
Dexterous yoink.
I like it.
My name's Dexterous Yoink. He's going to be a rogue. Irish rogue. Okay, well, so Lily has an umbrella, the rest of you don't. But,
I'm
yeah.
not
Okay,
bothered.
so you
I
guys-
just, I'm already kind of hunched and whatever. I'm using my, again, using the quarterstaff as, as a stick, essentially, sort of leaning on that and just, yeah, I'm not that bothered by the weather. I'm a bit of an outdoory kind of person, if possible.
So we see somebody in like a common, slightly tattered clothes, standing just outside the tavern, and he's leaning one hand on the wall that's just inside an alleyway next to the tavern. The wall of the tavern that is on the side of the alleyway. He's leaning on it one hand and relieving himself, and he's sort of slightly swaying left foot to right foot. Like he spent a bit of time in the tavern. He's at that stage where he cares not a jot that he's getting absolutely soaked to the skin. But he comes by, finishes, puts himself away, and walks by you guys, makes a big sort of mock bow as you guys come out, and then goes inside. And we stick with him for a second, and he, on his way to the bar, just something takes his interest. It's on the side is a little not billboard. What would you call it? A tack board? Is that the right word? A tack board? And he sees on it one of your advertisements, Dusk. But he also sees next to it there's a parchment with a rough sketch of someone that looks very, very similar to Lily, and it says "wanted." And the guy kind of drunkenly stands in front of it and squints, and then looks back at the door, and then looks at the poster, and then looks back at the door, and then shakes his head and goes up to the bar. So Thelior is going to lead you to Syndra's residence. It's a house, nothing too fancy, in a close by region, so it's only 5 or 10 minutes walk. He takes out a key and opens the door, and ushers you guys inside. And then you have a chance to kind of shake yourself dry a little bit in an entrance hallway, before he takes you up a staircase, and into a wood-paneled room with a fireplace, comfortable chairs, and a heavy table bearing goblets and bottles of wine. The darkly paneled walls are hung with maps and sea charts. Racks, shelves, and cabinets hold hundreds more rolled-up maps and charts. A person is seated in an overstuffed chair near the fire. The person's head emerges only from under a heavy blanket draped over the chair. An embroidered hood and silver mask conceals their face. Even the person's dry, raspy voice is surprisingly weak, only just seems to reach your ears. And she says, "Help yourselves to wine and seat yourselves, friends. I hope I may call you that."
Certainly. Well, I kind of just look around and just grab a cup then.
Oh, well, Thelior will help you with that, won't you, Thelior? Although it seems like perhaps you've been indulging yourself by the looks of things, And Thelior he was placidly grinning to himself, red-faced, and then he suddenly jumps into action and starts helping you guys with drinks if you want some.
You must be Syndra.
Amused.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying I look really amused.
Syndra, yes. And I asked Thelior here, I asked him to invite you so that I might make a proposition to you. I assume you're the adventuring party that put out advertisements in the city a short while ago about a voyage to Chelt.
What was that to me?
To the group.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how RJ can delete all this shit he's drawn on Roll20.
Yeah, just grab, but everything that's not your token, essentially. And then hit delete.
I'll try and delete. RJ, stop it.
Stop it.
No.
Bad, RJ.
Bad.
Dude, my token!
And
No!
whilst we're on that, sorry, is there a way I can turn off... Oh, I've done it. Enable background chat beep. Removed. There we go. So I don't get the whoop every 5 seconds now.
Yeah, that's the worst. I always turn that off as soon as I join any new Roll20 thing. I hate that it defaults to on.
So sorry,
Roll20 makes
Dirk.
noise?
Yeah, when you type, if it's not the active window, then it goes whoop every time a message gets sent.
Yeah.
So I've been trying
Must
to
be
keep
off by
clicking back in
default.
it.
So she said to you, "Are you the people that had the advert?"
Yes, we are. My name is Dusk. This is Dekak, Lily, and Immeral. We are a group willing to...
I never gave my name.
Oh, well, and this is another friend of us. And yeah, we are the group that is willing to go to Cholt for adventure, gold, and treasure, kind of like
I
trail
just
off.
want passage.
Well, excellent, excellent. Perhaps two birds can be. Perhaps two purposes can be dealt with at once. Now, across these lands, particularly in the land of Cholt, but also in this area, something dreadful has been happening recently. Not quite public knowledge yet, and I hope to keep it that way. You see, there is something called a death curse plaguing these lands. It is a wasting disease that afflicts anyone who's been raised from the dead. Fairly common for adventurers. It's a dangerous business, you of course know. Victims grow thinner, weaker every day, slowly sliding irrecoverably back towards the grave. And then they can no longer be raised again. No one of the divine arts knows anything about it, or how to stop it. But my contacts with the Harpers, I still have some quite good contacts, you see, even now. My contacts learned that the death curse is caused by a necromantic artifact called the Soulmonger. And according to them, it is located somewhere in Chult.
And
All right.
you want
Then,
us to find this, or what? Why us?
Well, yes, I would like to ask you to travel to Chult. I can assist with that. I'll come to that in a moment. And find this artifact. Take it. Destroy it, or bring it back to me. You'll do many a great favor. You see, me in particular, I was an adventurer many years ago. I died once. I was foolish. I dropped my guard. I was overconfident with my abilities, and I was raised from the dead. And the death curse has struck me, among others. I don't know how much longer I'll last before I perish. Clerics have nothing to offer me. They're stymied. This is my last throw of the dice, so to speak.
I see. Well, I think it is a reasonable thing to do, really, right? I kind of look at the others again.
It does sound like it's going to be a bit dangerous. I know you said there might be a bit of coin in it for us. Could you maybe give us an advance? So we get a bit better gear, so we're equipped to handle these necromantic thingamadoos.
A reasonable request. I can offer you 50 gold pieces each to defray your expenses when we arrive in Chult. And when you return successfully, well, I still have some magical abilities. I had many years as an adventurer. I have a few, rare artifacts that might interest you. But the gold up front, how does that sound?
It sounds wonderful. Well,
I'm not. I'm good with that.
well, you mentioned you were able to assist with getting the jolt.
Ah, yes, yes. When you're all ready, I'll teleport us all to Port Nanzaru. It's the only major settlement in Chult. I've been there many times before, so there's little chance of mishap. It rather beats the boat ride, in my opinion.
Excellent. Let's leave as soon as possible.
Whatever gets us there, yes.
Splendid. Well, I say we leave right now.
For sure. However, well, I kind of like look at my pouch and I say, well, about the gold first.
Ah, yes, yes, of course. Thelior, would you mind?
So obsessed with this.
So Thelior scurries away and comes back with a few pouches of coins and passes one to each of you. Would you prefer some corn? You
Nope.
corn instead?
Think of all the corn you could buy.
I mean,
$20 can buy many peanuts.
So it's pretty fitting.
So yeah, you can each add 50 gold to your inventory.
Yes.
The only money I have. Yes.
Please keep track of your inventories, by the way. Essentially, if you tell me you've got something and it's not on the sheet, then you don't have it. So keep track.
I have millions of gold.
Okay. Derek, real quick. Do I actually own that necklace? Because I just kind of made that up.
Yeah, you see a guy sitting at the tavern with a crown studded with rubies. It must be worth at least 1,000 gold.
I mean, it's got to be fake, right?
Well, no, but
yeah,
like,
you can have a necklace. I'm assuming that it's like sentimental to you.
Yeah, definitely.
For reasons that we might broach later. So yeah, no worries. So you got your gold.
Sindra, you said you were going to transport all of us, including yourself?
Yes. Indeed, yes.
If you're...
I'll stay there.
Oh.
I travel to Port Nyanzaru rather often. I quite like it. The climate, it helps my health. And I have a few friends there from my adventuring days.
I thought there was nothing to be done for your health.
In the long term. Yes. I travel there to convalesce sometimes, but it's true. In the long term, I hope you succeed. That's all I'll say.
Does this...
Now,
do you happen to know if this immediately affects anyone? Now, if someone was to be brought back from the dead now, would they...
It doesn't work. It no longer works. It's a fairly common magic that well-practiced clerics can often do, but, well, in the last few weeks... And she shakes her head. One last thing before we go. Well, the peninsula of Chult, it's ringed with mountains and choked with rainforests. The jungles can be, well, fairly dangerous, but I'm sure your skills will keep you safe. But nonetheless, exploration so far has been difficult. So I have compiled from my own travels and from whatever I could find, I think quite a complete map of Chult. I say complete, I mean it's as complete as anybody knows at the moment, although it's largely uncharted. But I'd be willing to share a copy with each of you. And
sounds helpful.
She pauses speaking just long enough for me to transfer you to the map.
Dun dun dun.
So we're going to be using this quite a bit. Hopefully,
it's drawing itself.
It's going to load fairly slowly, I'm sure. But it's got all these hexes, yeah, and these are essentially representing the unknown parts of Chult. So really only people have managed to explore most of the coasts and very, only a few miles inland from there at the moment. So hopefully you should only be able to see a few place names. Those are places that have been visited and put on maps before.
I can see 2 place names within the hexes. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So
Okay.
you
Alright.
should see what are the names?
Mala?
Mala and Kirsebal.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so their approximate location is known, those places. And to the north, you'll see Port Nyanzaru, which is where you're going to be teleported to shortly.
Ooh.
It looks like there's a big poisonous area just south of that. Great.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the... do we know what the death symbol is?
Yeah, I kind of point to that and I ask, what does this symbol mean exactly?
Chult is a fairly dangerous place. It's the reason
yes.
why I can't just send scouts. It's important for people to be able to handle themselves in combat, to explore. And those places, there's been sightings of undead in Chult. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure, but previous explorers marked it on those locations in the map.
And you say Port Nyanzaru is the only major settlement, or the only settlement at all?
Yes, that's right. So, if you're ready, to Port Nyanzaru is where I'll teleport us.
It all looks rather inhospitable.
Well, I think this definitely beats a boat, right? And I am definitely considering teleporting there instead.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Terrific. And she kind of slowly, pushes herself out of her chair, picks up a nearby walking cane, and then kind of gestures for you all to stand close to each other. She stands next to the group of you, and then waves her free hand around in a circle, and this purple magical light slowly, in kind of a slow gathering of like a cyclone around the group of you, and you feel a pulling at the pit of your stomach, a slight dizziness for a moment, and then a brief, flash of just darkness. The room around you disappears, and it is replaced by a wave of color and heat. So you appear in a tropical city under the blazing sun. The familiar sounds of a harbor, creaking ropes, slapping waves, heavy barrels rolling across cobblestones, mingle with voices shouting and cursing in an unfamiliar language filled with clicks, inhalations, and sing-songy words that make it sound almost musical. The aroma of unfamiliar spices and tropical fruit mixes with the wharf-side smells of fish, tar, and canvas. Above all that, Port Nyanzaru is an explosion of color. Buildings are painted in bright shades of blue, green, orange, and salmon pink, or their walls are adorned with murals portraying giant reptiles and mythical heroes. Every building sports baskets and clay urns of colorful flowers, or is draped in leafy flowering vines. Minstrels in bright clothing adorned with feather and shells perform on street corners. Multicolored pennants and sun awnings flutter atop the city walls. A crowd of children dressed in feathered hats and capes races past you, squealing in delighted terror as a street performer costumed as a big-toothed lizard stomps and roars behind them, and then they all disappear behind an alleyway. The whole city seems to be bustling, sweating, laughing, swearing, and singing. So you're kind of hit with this wall of humidity and heat and color and sound.
Well, that was quick.
I kind of stumble for words when this happens.
I don't like it. I'm just looking around and all this color and chaos, and I'm just like, I don't like this.
Well,
Um,
Syndra, now what?
Well, I'm going to meet up with an old friend. He's one of the 7 merchant princes that leads this city. They rule around here. They do rather a good job of things. Although some of them have slightly sourer temperament than my friend Wakanga. I mean, perhaps you could visit us tomorrow and find yourself lodgings for this evening. You could perhaps visit the Thundering Lizard if you're looking for a raucous time, or Kaya's House of Repose if you want a good night's sleep.
I think we should look for supplies as well. If we're going to be adventuring into the jungle, I'm going to need more than what I've got on me.
What kind of thing would you be after? There's a few different... I mentioned that the leaders of this city are merchant princes. It's a very mercantile city. All sorts of things you can find here.
Well, I imagine we're going to need maybe some tents. We're going to need more rations. We're going to need maybe a handcart to carry the tent in. I want to get a new bow because, I mean, I've got 50 gold in my pocket. I want a new bow, right? Am I right? I don't think we should worry about a donkey or anything like that because that might just get eaten by giant lizards. I don't know what's here. What do y'all think? I don't know what's here. It might get eaten by a giant lizard or turn to an undead donkey thing. I don't know.
Good gracious. Syndra, where do you have any kind of information on where on this island you want us to go? Are we just wandering the wilderness and looking for some artifacts, finding it just under a rock somewhere?
I'm afraid I've told you mostly all I know.
Good God, woman.
The source of the death curse is thought to be here in Chult, but it's, as I mentioned, it's a largely unexplored area. As for supplies, the Red Bazaar is where you'll want to go. They'll have most of those things you ask for. Anything specialist, you might want to... you'll have to ask around, but that's a good place to start. And indeed, the taverns, the inns that I mentioned are just south of there.
All right. So we go to this Red Bazaar, get some supplies, and maybe see if we can find some more information.
I have my own business to attend to. I will meet up tomorrow.
Well, let us discuss where we'll meet up then, friend. What is your name?
I look at Dusk impatiently. Emerald, if you must know.
Emerald.
Emerald.
So where will we meet? I must get going.
Do you have
What
business?
was the Loud Tavern?
The Thundering Lizard.
How about Thundering Lizard then?
Fine.
Tomorrow, early, I suppose? Midday? Yeah, midday. How about midday?
That's pretty early. I have no need for anything, I don't think. I can just wander around, just try and get my bearings. There's an awful lot of people here. I'm not used to so many beings in one spot.
I suppose you're gonna have to get used to it. Or you're going to spend all your time in the jungle, right?
I mean, if anyone's able to show me around, I've never been to anywhere this size. I'm slightly overwhelmed.
All right. I kind of lay my hand over your shoulder, and I say, "All right, I am going to introduce you to the life in a city, and I'm going to get you so drunk you're gonna vomit tomorrow and early. All right?"
Do you mind coming
That's
with
a
me to the
great
marketplace? Do you mind coming with me to the marketplace first? Because I'm not buying a tent and a wheelbarrow with only my money, is all I'm saying. If you don't think you're going to use it, that's fine.
Well, we can come. There may be something that we spot that would be useful. I suppose I'm happy to just stand and perch and sleep anywhere, really, so I've no need for any kind of camping gear, but you know, if I can help out
You might
somehow.
want to get some more supplies, though. We don't know how long we're going to be in the jungle. If we're going to get lost,
This
you have
is
enough
true.
to eat while you're out there.
I suppose that sounds about right, yes. I don't have any kind of rations or meals or anything on me, so
Are you a good hunter? Do you think you could find it in the wild?
Oh, I just kind of scavenge around and eat what I can, I suppose. But no, I suppose, as you say, some form of travel food or something to take with us could be marvelous.
All right then. Which way did you say the market was? Was it this way?
I'll walk with you for a moment before I go and see my friend Wakanga, and, well, I can point you from there. How about we set off then, hmm?
Thank you kindly.
I need to AFK for like 10 minutes, but I broke away from the group anyway, so it should be fine.
Okay, so first, do we see Immoral, like, head off in some different direction? And then we can pick up afterwards with, so we'll do something with the rest of the group, I suppose, and then we'll talk about a little bit later what Immoral's doing today.
Yeah, I whispered you what I was doing succinctly in Roll20.
Okay. Cool.
We'll
All
catch you at the Thundering Lizard then.
Yes, the Thundering Lizard tomorrow, midday. And I hastily walk off.
Well,
Okay.
he certainly doesn't seem very friendly, actually.
He's a bit of a doubter, to be honest. But it's no matter.
We can all have our reasons, I suppose, for not necessarily being trusting of others.
It's less a bit about trust, and it's more that he just seems really annoyed all the time. I just kind of shrug.
I suppose if I could be seen from 10 miles away, I'd be a bit pissed sometimes.
Yeah, I laugh at that as well.
And you see Syndra, like, you know, just out of politeness, really trying to stifle a laugh, but not quite managing it.
Well, let us be off then.
So where you guys warped in was over here. So you're quite close to the docks, to the harbour area. You know, various different trading and sailing ships of different sorts of sizes. And Syndra starts like slowly hobbling along by the edge of the sea westward. When you get to around here, you see a sort of 15-foot long freaking dinosaur.
What the
man.
fuck?
I don't know if it makes you start or something, but this one's got like a harness tied to it, and then a wagon attached to that. And some Chiltons are like loading the wagon with a few boxes and barrels and things.
What the? Well, is anyone else seeing this?
Yes, it's a very interesting specimen.
I have never seen a horse like this one.
Syndra laughs and says, "Oh, do you know, all the years coming here and bringing people with me to visit and so on, I forget every time that people haven't seen these before. Dinosaurs, lots of them in Chult. In fact," and she's like, you know, kind of wagging her finger and carrying on walking like it's really nothing. It's very casual. In fact, if you find the right time, they even do dinosaur races through the streets of Chult. It's through the streets of Port Nyanzaru. It's quite the spectacle.
Oh. Do you know when the next time is going to be?
I'm not sure exactly. They're weekly. I'd inquire perhaps at the Thundering Lizard or, well, I mean, anyone in the city would know. They're very popular events.
Yeah, can I like just walk up to a random just person on the street?
Yes, yeah, sure. So, I mean, there's those two guys that are loading the wagon.
Excuse me.
Yes, hello.
Well, I was informed that there are races in this city, and do you know the next time a race is going to occur?
Oh, the dinosaur races, yeah. Oh, you're just in time, mate. Yeah, the next one's tomorrow. Big one.
Ooh.
All right.
Not just a race, full day of races. There's the four-legged category, there's the two-legged category, and then there's the best event, if you ask me, the Unchained. You know, where they can, and he like kind of makes his best impression of a dinosaur, like biting. Where they can, you know.
Oh.
Oh,
So-
not spectators. No, each other.
Ah, well, that makes it way more interesting. I see. So, how, well, where do I go to tomorrow then to see this?
To the Grand Colosseum. Just follow the water around a mile or two. You can't miss it. That's where they start anyway. But you know, you'll see them through the streets. If you want to place a bet, you go to the Grand Colosseum. Otherwise, just follow the crowds.
All right. I will definitely check it out. Thank you, sir. What is your name? So,
My name is Vulcan Vulcan Fletterman.
Vulcan Fletterman. That is a very flattering name. Thank you. I am Dusk. It's very nice to meet you. I hope to see you tomorrow at the race then.
And you, sir. And he puts his hand out to shake you.
Yeah.
Shake your hand, not to shake you.
Shake your entire body.
Yeah, I shake it definitely.
Does the dinosaur that we can see look in good health? Does it look like it's being looked after well, or it's not being mistreated and stuff? As far as like a normal horse or donkey would be, as opposed to, you know, something properly in captivity in chains and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, have you ever seen a dinosaur before? Would you
No,
know?
but I mean, I recognise it as an animal, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's like bleeding from leg harnesses and stuff like that.
No. I mean, it's fairly well fed. It's not being like whipped particularly. It's just, you know, it's been trained to as a beast of burden.
Yeah.
But
fair
yeah,
enough.
it's not looking particularly unhealthy.
Cool. Just checking.
DK will remember that.
Bring the dinos.
What would be the symbol that we get in the like upper left corner for DK?
Yeah, it would just be DK remembers that.
Okay, yeah.
It could have like a little feather by it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Cut in half though.
Like yeah, half of a feather.
Aww. All right.
So as we, I'm guessing we're carrying on walking towards the market area and stuff.
Yeah.
I sort of say to Lily as we're walking along,
So, what exactly brings you to Schultz? Is any reason in particular you thought you wanted to come here, or was it just the posters? You just fancied some adventure?
Yeah, let's go with that. Fancied adventure, I like that.
Okay.
Good story, I like that.
Well, that doesn't sound
Do I hear
suspicious at
that?
all. Fair enough. I know when not to push things.
I kind of look around, and I lean in close to Dekek, and I say, let's just say sometimes I need to get lost, and now's one of them times.
I
And
understand.
Chult's very, very far away. What brings you to Chult? And I lean back and I kind of gesture like as if I didn't say anything weird.
Well, yes. I'm just looking for things, really. Information, knowledge, people. perhaps someone like me, Who knows? Just keeping my eyes out and seeing what can happen.
Someone like you in what way?
Well, another that looks like me.
I see.
But yes, generally just similar to you, I suppose, getting away from where I was. This seems like a good place to potentially find somewhere to, sort of put down roots, that sort of thing, perhaps.
I don't know if I'd want to put down roots here right now unless we can solve that undead problem.
Well, that's true, I suppose, although it's only affecting those that have come back from the dead. I don't have anything to worry about there.
But they say they spotted some just south of the port. This situation could get out of control. Just be on your guard here.
Yeah, what happens if this city falls to the undead, DKek?
Well, again, I don't mind being out in the wilds, really. Although I don't have that much experience, but it feels like I'd survive quite well out there. I don't know why. But I suppose we'll see once we get out there.
So, Syndra keeps leading you westward. She's occasionally pointing out some landmarks in the city. So, for example, here she points out that in the middle of the water there, in the middle of the harbor, there's a gigantic statue representing an ancient Chelton king.
There?
Yep. An ancient Chelton king in full regalia, resplendent in a loincloth of leopard skin and a headdress of feathers, shells, and tyrannosaurus teeth. Draped in a cape of Geralian fur and monkey tails, and wielding the traditional oval shield and yikilwa, which is kind of like a spear, but with the blades is a little more of the length, so it's like a couple of feet of blade and then maybe 3 feet of pole. She tells you that residents call it Na Nabuso, the Great King. And then you continue on your, I suppose, what's become a sightseeing tour of the city now.
And on your left, you can see.
But you get to about here. Can you see when I'm pinging and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, "Well, once again, I wish you the very, very best of luck in your travels. And I dearly hope I will see you again. Here's where I'll leave you, I'm afraid. I'm going to see my friend Wakanga. Like I said, stop by if you want to meet him. Perhaps I can make an introduction. Otherwise, just here is the... I said it wrong before, actually. Just hold on, let me just double check. That one is called the... It's for trading, but it's called the Grand Souk. It's one of the main markets in Port Nyanzaru. You'll find all sorts of provisions there. And then if you head further south, in that direction is the Red Bazaar, where you'll find the Thundering Lizard and Kyra's House of Repose.
All right. Well, before you leave, where can we find your friend? Because I don't think you said you told us that.
Oh, just here. So she's standing like near where she'll be entering his villa. So you see, she's kind of gesturing behind her. There's like a hill with some. It's not quite barricades, but it's like hills and is walled. You know, it's the posh area of the city. Keep the peasants out. And just here, there's a huge, ornate, and enormously colourful-looking villa. Behind it actually is what looks like a golden palace, and she was gesturing to you that is the Grand Souk. It's one of the main trade areas. You can buy all sorts of day-to-day goods, and then further south, I can ping you because she kind of, let's say she gave you directions. Around there is the Red Bazaar, which is where the taverns are near.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before she departs, I want to ask her, so are you going to be staying in the city for long then?
Haven't quite made my mind up yet. Wakanga is an old friend. We adventured together long, long ago. Kept up correspondence, and sometimes I visit about once a year. So we'll get reacquainted. I have no great rush to leave.
Will you be staying with your friend then while you're here in Jolt?
As long as he's not sick of me by now, yes.
All right, I just wanted to know where we could find you if we happen to need any information or we happen to find this artifact. Maybe it's easy peasy.
Certainly, yes.
It might be in the
Wakanga
pub
can
for all
always
we
get in
know.
touch with me, either here or in Baldur's Gate. You'll find Wakanga here. Either I'll be there or he can contact me.
Perfect.
It would be
Perhaps we'll meet up.
helpful if you could let him know, perhaps, what to expect, in case any of us turns up at his doorstep unannounced, trying to find you.
I could introduce you if you'd like.
I mean,
Perhaps-
we have all day. We're meeting up with what was his name? Emerald. We're meeting up
Emerald.
with Emerald tomorrow.
Emerald.
We could very easily meet your friend now, if you don't mind, or if you'd like some time to get acquainted, we could stop back after making some purchases.
Come with me now. I'll introduce you. So
Is RJ still gone, by the way, or are you back? Or do you know how long he's gone for? Great.
not back. Okay. Well, we'll do the next thing as Syndra takes you into Wakanga's villa. Then, so there's a map. It's like the most pointless map of all time. Do you want to see the map? I guess I can show you
Yes.
the map because I don't know what. Well, we'll see. I guess. Where are you guys now? You're there. Oh, hey, we can. You can bring your tokens on as well, or I'll bring them on.
Where are we supposed to be looking? What corner of the map?
Good question. Well, it's on the left side,
Left side.
and I just got to wait for it to load for me. I think it's towards the south end that you would come in.
Okay.
No, I just kind of randomly put my token into darkness.
Oh wait, you could move yourself onto the map.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can drag it from our sheets.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
I've dragged mine into the darkness.
I see nothing but a black
Yeah,
box.
I also see nothing.
We can drag our
Uh,
token
I
from
think-
where?
I think this is likely to have dynamic lighting, which is probably why. Oh, there. Okay.
From your
can move
character
you-
sheet, if you open up your character and then go to the first page bio and info and click on your portrait and just drag it.
I mean, you can just drag it from the journal as well.
That is the journal.
Oh. Okay. I'm done.
I can't. I can't see or do anything in the bio bit.
You should have a
I'll
character
drag you guys.
portrait.
I was expecting to need to do that anyway, and I can only find Dusk. I'll
Well,
find you.
definitely dragged me somewhere.
into the void.
Here, I'll do a couple. We'll see if-
By the way, just whilst I have noticed it, Dirk, have we all automatically got inspiration? Or-
I was feeling generous, so I thought I'd start you guys with
All right.
inspiration,
Just checking that.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Thank you very much.
and also partly as a reminder to me that there's like 4 lilies,
Yeah.
Oh, I see a thing.
and now there's a gigantic one. Okay.
I
hold on.
see nothing.
You should. Your token's on there now.
All I see is a black. I've zoomed all the way out. All I see is a black box in the top left corner.
Try refreshing.
Bloop. Oh, it closes all my other windows. I forgot about that.
It does,
It's- Roll20 is so slow today. Yikes. It might be that you need to be inside. I can put you inside the building.
The call is coming from inside the building.
put you inside.
I'm loading in. Slowly but surely.
And then I'll delete the Lily clients.
You're
I told
attacked
him
by
to
7.
drag a bunch.
So can you guys see?
I can
I
see
can.
this.
I can see this.
I'm loading in still.
Oh, you're... Hold on, there's 2 lilies still.
Sorry.
I still just see a black box. Oh, I saw a ping.
Down
Yeah, I
here
can
is
see
where you
this.
I see arrows. No, I just see blackness. Oh, wait, is it because you two have dark vision and I don't?
should- Oh,
I don't have dark vision.
Oh.
I have dark vision.
Why are you seeing over there?
I can see here.
I can see those arrows that you guys are drawing now. But again,
I
just
can
with a black
see-
box.
Olive.
Ah, I see them. I
Yes.
see you. I see that little room with us in.
Yeah, this room.
Yeah. Mm.
Dynamic lighting can be a pain sometimes.
Yeah. Especially when it's totally not necessary.
Can you just remove it from this particular map? I don't know how any of the behind-the-scenes stuff works.
Yeah, I think this happened before where Fog of War. We don't need Fog of War. We don't need dynamic lighting. Well, we do need Fog of War. Shit.
Oh, everything's gone.
Really?
Hey, chat, by the
I
way.
can't see anything.
How you guys
Yeah.
doing?
I think it automatically just put fog of war on everything.
I hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much, anyone that's lurking or hanging out, anything like that.
So you're gonna have to reveal the room again, I think.
Sorry, as ever, that these kind of things don't have much chat interaction, but hopefully,
Why are we doing this?
hopefully it's
Yeah, I don't
something
know.
for
There's
you.
a map. We
Yay!
don't need to use the map.
Oh my!
Can you see stuff?
Yes.
I can
Yes.
see
Everyone
stuff.
can see stuff.
I see the corridor and the room next up here.
With the fountain or reflecting pool or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, you come up to the entrance of a lavish palatial building. It's it's very colourful. There's like palm trees outside. There's enormous stone gutterways on the side of the building that lead into several cisterns. It's obviously like a city that you suppose has very tropical weather, so there's a lot of rainfall as well as a lot of sunshine. And once you get into the entryway, you see there's a couple of guards there, and Syndra says a brief greeting, and then one of them scurries off to summon Wakanga. And a few moments later, the man himself shows up. I'm just trying to find his. In fact, I think there's even a handout for you guys.
Has this already gone gloriously off script?
A little bit.
How?
Okay.
How?
I didn't expect the map to be needed, but anyway, I suppose it wasn't.
I mean, it isn't.
Oh,
Oh,
look
wow.
at him.
Wakanga. So he's got a big smile on his face, and he walks up to you as a group, and of course, is mostly greeting Syndra to begin with. So he smiles at the bunch of you and focuses on Syndra, and is like, "Ah, Syndra, I was wondering when you would next come and visit your friend Wakanga. Welcome, welcome." Syndra's like, "It's good to see you again, Wakanga. While I still can, of course. Not to be too morbid, but I must make the best use of my time. Might I introduce you to my new friends, Dekek, Lily, Dusk. This is Wakanga, an old friend."
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, hello.
Ah, the pleasure is entirely mine. Please, come in. Any friends of Syndra Sylvain are friends of Wakanga's. And he...
Oh, God.
Bye.
and he gestures for you to enter. So
Again, my people skills aren't the best, so I'm just kind of looking at the trees and pecking at things slightly, prodding at stuff, wandering around without really that much social skills. Roll initiative.
okay, so he leads you through his very lavishly appointed his villa. There's a waiting room. I'm not going to. Well, I suppose I can just reveal the map. I'm just going to reveal the map as you go through. Ta-da!
Oh, damn.
Wow, that's swanky.
So he takes you through. There's like a waiting area, and then like a hall with stairs. There's a few side areas for guest rooms and like servants' quarters. And then he leads you upstairs into like his main, I guess, audience chamber. And as you walk through the house, through the building, you see a few kind of golden goblets, some like small samples of like jars with little bits of hair in them. There's a couple of staffs like lying around. I mean, maybe Dekek, you might be familiar in these sorts of surroundings. They look to you like some very minor, like magical paraphernalia.
Can I do like investigation, see if there's anything that stands out, anything out of the ordinary?
Well, he wouldn't really put like his best stuff. It's kind of like decorative, magical paraphernalia. So he leads you into his main audience chamber and takes a seat and gestures to the rest of you. And Syndra gestures to the rest of you to take a seat. Syndra sits next to him. And
they don't have tokens, right?
Syndra doesn't. Yeah,
but
they're just like briefly catching up anyway. So Wakanga anyway is a merchant prince. He can sell you some common magical items. So actually, he does have some healing potions, although they're fairly pricey. 80 gold for a healing potion, but he would sell you those if you want them.
Nah.
So once he's done, having a kind of courtesy catch up with Syndra, he's saying to you guys, so my new friends, what's your first impression of Port Nyanzaru? Glorious, is it not?
It is. I have never seen a city so similar to a work of art ever before.
I just kind of give Dusk a sidelong look. I mean, I'm from Evermeet, so I've seen some stuff. This is not art to me. But I don't say anything. But I just kind of look like, really? Art? Okay.
It's
sure.
very busy. There's a lot of people.
Yes,
There's
it is very... Dinosaurs, yes. It's always the first thing people are surprised by when they come to Port Nyanzaru. Glorious beasts, and even more glorious that man was able to tame some of them, put them to use.
So, do they... Well, I have to ask. Did they just essentially replace horses in labor?
To begin with, it was a slow process, but now almost totally. They are much stronger. It takes a lot of skill, a lot of determination to turn them to use, like some that can be used for construction. But once you do that, they are much more useful.
And what brought you here?
I live here, friend. I have always lived here. I am, you are a newcomer to the city, yes?
Yes.
Well, I am Watanga Otamu, and I am one of the 7 merchant princes that has the charge to run this city.
Okay. And was this something that you became, or were you born into this, or what?
When I was young, well, I had to make a name for myself, and when an opportunity came, I took it. In Port Nyanzaru, well, there are different ways to get respect for yourself, but the easiest one is to make a lot of money. And this is what I did.
Merchant? I also see magical items around. You've got many fingers in many pies, it seems.
Yes, I sell some more mundane items, but also for the discerning purchaser, I have some magical items, some potions, some scrolls of good spells, some information, some lost lore. But yes, also some more mundane items. Business is business, you know. You can't build yourself a house like this just by selling scrolls.
And has your friend Syndra told you why she brought us here?
She's something about the death curse, yes?
Something. It seems kind of important. Do you know any information about it? If you have all this, all this knowledge, all these connections and things?
I'm afraid not. It is something only that has been plaguing us for a few weeks. I know it exists. I know it has begun to afflict people, and he looks sympathetically at Syndra. But beyond this, I'm afraid I cannot help. Other than by selling potions, perhaps. Have you seen my collection of potions?
I see you are a merchant at heart.
Indeed. Where there is coin to be made, there is Wakanga Otamo.
Surely anything that you could give us or sell us for cheaper prices would benefit you in the long run. Surely you'd be able to hold on to more of your wealth if you helped us stop this incoming plague.
He grins widely at you, Dekak, and rises from his chair and is sort of wagging a finger, and as he's saying this and turning, he's like, I see, friend, you are, like myself, someone that has an eye for a good bargain. I tell you what, Wakanga will give you something today for free if you will come back later and buy some potions. They're very good potions, heal you very well. But today, and he walks back to a bookshelf that's behind his desk, and pulls out a really tattered looking leather bound but not particularly expensive looking book. And he walks back over and hands it to you and says, take this, perhaps it can be of some assistance in your journey.
Do
you want to
look at it?
So, well, you take a brief flick through it. It's very water damaged and tattered, but it's really you see entries, with dates next to them, and a lot of it's kind of very personal stuff, particularly grumbling about the jungle and how hot it is and how heavily it rains sometimes and the bugs, and it's really not all that useful. A lot of it's just a day-to-day
it's a teenage diary.
Yeah.
Rained again today.
But you notice it's a diary of a wizard that explored various places in Chult.
Okay.
But one part does strike your attention. It's mentioning this person's traveling companion, a shield guardian named Vaughn. Wakanga comes over to you as you're examining it, and
I suppose sorry to interrupt, I'm technically using the identify ritual then, I guess, at this point, if that's possible, or would that be a bit too over the top to actually be doing that? It's only a 1-minute ritual, but
so what does this look like?
I mean, if he's given it to me and I don't know, I'm I'm hunching over it, I suppose, and pouring my hands over it and maybe mumbling some stuff under my breath, just to see if there's anything
That has a material component, just so you know.
Yeah,
You
it does.
have to
It doesn't get
sacrifice a
used
pearl
though.
worth 100 gold.
It doesn't say it uses it.
But did you have 100 gold to get it?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to have the pearl.
I've got the
Costed items require you to have them specifically.
Exactly. So I don't.
that doesn't come with
there's-
component pouches and stuff. Don't have those kind of things.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck that
If they
then.
list, if,
Ones
yeah, if they
without a
list-
gold cost do.
Mhm.
Anyone that has a gold cost are unique, and you have to have the actual item.
I see.
But anyway, Wakanga tells you it's just a journal.
Sure.
But he asks you to show him your map of Chult if you have one. And if you do so, he will indicate where this journal was found.
I hand him the map. Yeah.
Okay, so let me mark on it. Let me find the. Oh God.
I'm just
Oh
going
God,
through
it was still
everything.
there.
I accidentally pasted all of your tokens, enormous tokens, on the middle of the map. Did they change it? That I thought right click was scroll was move around instead of.
Do you have
it is
the
for me.
Do you have the right tool in selected?
Yeah, you have
Do I
to
need-
have
do I need
select
pan?
the
The
select
pointy
move.
thing.
Sorry, just give me 1 second. I need to move something on the map so that you guys can see it.
It's the problem with not knowing how D&D works. That I now have a lot of shopping to do.
I mean, you're a wizard. You are going to be expensive.
Well, yeah, but I mean, once you've got them, unless it says it's consumed by the spell, right?
Usually
Exactly.
they are.
Yeah,
Yes, 'cause
most
most of them are
consumed
consumed.
items.
Most what?
Most components get consumed.
I thought it was only when it specifically says this consumes
It
the
is,
item.
and most actually,
None of
I'm
my
pretty
ones say
sure
that it
it's-
consumes them,
Yeah,
but
no,
I have
you-
got 3
All
things
the
that
higher
say that
level
they have
stuff
gold.
does.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you
level 1
use
stuff
your
does.
spellcasting focus instead if it doesn't say that it's consumed.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
if it doesn't have a cost, yeah.
And it's not consumed. Yeah.
So either way, I mean, if you finished your ritual, you would have found that it's not a magical artifact; it's a journal.
Sure.
But Wakanga was giving it to you, thinking, "Well, this seems like a wizard's journal," and it was found in. Can you now see an X where I'm pinging?
Yes.
So that's what he's marked on your map. That's where the journal was found. I'm not going to bring you back to his. Well, I suppose let's bring you on his map. I don't know why there's a map for this. There's a lot of great maps in this game, but why is there a map of this guy's house? I guess it's like in case you storm the place and like kill everybody and steal everything, like some.
I
some
mean,
groups.
you know, this could be
I
our new
show up
game
and attack
survival.
I was
those
gonna say,
things
there's a-
dinosaur guard thing.
There's a lot of beds and stuff as well. It could be a potential, hey, we're fucked, we've got nothing, can we just rest here, please? Or something like that. One day.
Yeah.
So yeah, he says to you, this wizard was journeying in Chult, and somewhere mentioned in that journal is an artifact called a control amulet, magical artifact, could be sold for much gold for Wakanga. You find this, Wakanga will give you a spell book. It looks like something that might be of interest to one or more of you. How does this sound?
Sounds good to me.
Well, that is a trade.
And trade is what Wakanga loves more than anything. Second to that, Wakanga loves beautiful women, But first of all, Wakanga loves trade.
I will be sure to come with any trade that I may come upon in my travels.
Hopefully we
I'm
last
gonna
long
come
enough.
to you if I have an idea for something. All right.
Perfect.
You don't happen to have any ruby dust on you, do you? or perhaps know where in town I could get some? It's kind of vital to, you could say, my entire character.
I suppose he might have something like that. But I have no idea what it would cost.
Oh, it's around
Does it say
50
the-
gold.
So he's like, ruby dust, come with me, friend. And he takes you to. He's not exactly like normally he sells stuff in shops that he has in the town, but he has a few things like lying around here. He's always looking for a sale. So yeah, if you want to buy some ruby dust, I'm sure Wakanga can hook you up.
Well, yes, please.
Where did you get the 50 from?
That's just kind of what it seems like it would cost if I was to be perhaps told that.
It's on his spell sheet.
Yeah, it's ruby dust worth 50 gold is the component.
Oh, right, okay. Well, now how do I... It's because he'll try and charge you more than that, most likely.
Okay, well, from what I've heard and read over the years, this is something that's worth around 30 gold. And
I'll tell you what, he'll start at... he will start at 70. You start at whatever you want to, and then we'll roll...
0.
We'll do an opposed charisma check.
Oh, God.
well...
And it'll be something like the difference between the rolls will be 10 gold or something like that.
I'll tell you this.
Here comes... Oh, boy.
I'll tell you this, Wakanga.
You have inspiration, just saying. All right?
True. Well, I was hoping to. I was hoping to say something before he rolled, but maybe it's not too late. I don't know. But Wakanga.
Well, what you would say, I assume, is like trying to persuade him. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Fair
it'll
enough.
Be resolved by the roll either way. But you can still go ahead.
If you want us to buy things from you, we're going to need to survive. This is something that's going to be quite important to my survival. And unfortunately, your friend Syndra hasn't given us that much money. And we're all quite new at this adventuring thing, and we're being sent into the middle of a fucking jungle to find a death curse artifact. So if you want us to buy potions and things from you, we need to come back every now and then to stock up and stuff. So it's kind of behooves you to help us at this early juncture so that we can then carry on trading as time goes forward.
I jump in with help, and I'm like, Dekek is speaking a lot of truth. I mean, you don't want to send potential customers who are going to make a lot of coin finding relics in the jungle and just send them off to their death. I mean, how is that a good investment for you?
We don't have any other contacts in this city either. We'll be coming straight back to you.
So you see Wakanga really grappling with this, and like in his mind he's weighing gold, conscience, gold, conscience.
Well, it's not just it's
do
gold.
they survive or do I make some profit?
It's like,
he
do I
also
make profit
glances
now?
over at Syndra, and Syndra like gives him a hard look, like a kind of he looks a little bit bashful when he looks away from Syndra and back to you guys. And he pauses for a moment, waiting for the outcome of the rolls. Now you have advantage. You don't need to use inspiration because you're being helped, and also your pitch was really good. He has disadvantage because he's ashamed of himself. So
Yeah.
so he still gets a 13, though. I'm afraid.
Oh, you re-rolling? I gotcha.
Yeah, I rolled it again. So he gets a 13.
Am I doing charisma save
Just
or
a-
just charisma check?
Just straight. Or you can use
Persuasion?
if you like it.
Persuasion.
I mean, it doesn't make any difference, I guess, but okay.
Hooray!
That was
That's
performance,
performance.
but okay.
Okay,
He's still-
persuasion says exactly. Oh, what the fuck! I'll be taking that gold dust for 20 gold.
No. So you make your big emotional pitch, saying, "Look, we'll die if you don't give us this. It's dangerous out there." And he like looks over at Syndra, and she like gives him a very stern look. And also, she heard that you said that she didn't give you very much gold, so her like honor's a little bit on the line here as well. He says, okay. A dead adventurer brings no profit to Wakanga. Here, you take.
Well,
You come back to Wakanga with purses fat with gold, and we do more trade then. But today, this is free.
I promise you, I will purchase more from you than you have lost by giving me this item. I give you my word. And
He
thank you.
nods to you solemnly.
Hooray, I skip off really happy.
Well, that is the first time I've seen that.
So he's gonna spend some time, getting reacquainting with Syndra. So I suppose they say something like, you have all the time. Please enjoy Port Nyanzaru. And if anybody gives you any trouble, you come see Wakanga.
We will. Well, let's go shopping, I suppose.
All right, let's go shopping. Not
Cool. Well,
not for potions or anything like that. Of course, if we had anything like that, we'd come straight to you. It's more trivial stuff, rations, maybe a wagon. We'll see what we find.
Actually, I turn around and I say, "Do you have cloth?"
do I have what?
Cloth.
Clot. You want to go to the Grand Souk, my friend. Find one of Wakanga's stalls in the Grand Souk. Very
How
good
do I
deals.
recognize yours then?
The best ones.
Got it.
But yeah, the Grand Souk is where you could buy, if you want to buy some cloth. Yeah, totally, they would have that.
Yeah, sure. I think.
So in the course of the conversation, he's missed a trade, right? He would have told you that the Grand Souk, they have things like it's one of the main trading areas. So there's like 3 marketplaces in Port Nyanzaru. There's the Grand Souk, which is like timber, spices, medicines, dinosaur claws, tiger pelts, carved ivory, various textiles, and some tropical fruits. There's also a jewelry market, and in the Red Bazaar is like food, essentially. So if you wanted to buy some rations, kind of more day-to-day things like that, then you could buy those there.
Okay.
Would they have like bows and hunting equipment and stuff in the Grand Souk? Or is that not for sale at anywhere?
Yes, yeah, you would be able to find like a stall there that you can buy normal weapons, most armor except for like heavy armor because nobody really uses it in the jungle. But yeah, you could totally buy a bow if you wanted to.
Cool.
So with that in mind, if there's like reasonable purchases you guys want to make, you can if you can find the price of it, then maybe you guys can do that in the background for a bit, and then we can see where Emerald got to.
Yeah. So
Sounds good.
I'm just going to say cloth, weaver's tools.
Okay, yeah, you could totally find those.
I
Same price as standard.
potentially like to find like a jewelry district or something, or I'm guessing it wouldn't just be a market stall that sells jewelry and stuff like that.
No, yeah, there's a jewelry market. There's a straight up jewelry market in the fancy part of town.
Okay, well, is that something that could happen in the background, or is that something that needs to be played?
Yeah,
played
what
out?
is it you want to buy?
I want a diamond worth at least 50 gold.
Oh my god.
I didn't know this when I picked all my shits.
You could buy a diamond worth. Yeah,
That's fine. If
you
that's
could
okay.
find a diamond. Yeah.
Yeah, diamond
Um,
worth 50.
Okay. Yeah. So mark off 50 gold because I mean,
Nice.
there's a straight up jewelry market.
Sweet. There we
you
go.
could go to.
I've got everything I need apart from the pearl, but that'll happen one day.
Okay. Should we actually maybe take a quick break there
Sure.
Can do.
before we dive into the shady dealings of Immoral?
Yeah. The fuck has he been up to, the cheeky bastard?
Shady dealings. Oh my. I am
Emeralds.
intrigued.
You guys can't listen. That's meta knowledge.
I can't wait to find out when we stop calling you emeralds.
Yeah. All right.
That sounds good. I'll go and make a coffee and all that nonsense. So, how long? What are we saying? Like 5-10 minutes? 10, 15, 5, 20, 50, 300?
5, 10.
7?
Fine.
510.
Sounds good. All right. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Bye.
All right.